Hello everyone, I am Chern Man from the Lock Application Technology Department of Guangdong KINLONG Precision Manufacturing Co. Limited. Today I will share with you the classification and application of door hinges. Today's main content consists of two parts. The first part is the classification of hinges, and the second part is the application of hinges. These two parts mainly explain the hinges produced and applied by our lock division. Let's start with the first part, the classification of hinges. There are three types of hinges commonly used on doors, namely flat hinges, hidden hinge, and other hinges. The most commonly used ones are flat hinges and concealed hinges. Other hinges may also be used on specific door types, such as multifunctional hinges, chicken, suey hinge, stone door hidden hinge, etc. Let's now take a look at the most commonly used flat hinges. There are 8 main types. There are respectively 1. Ordinary hinge. This type of hinge is the most widely used. It is composed of 2 leaves, with or without bearings, and can be used on ordinary wooden or metal doors. 2. The anti-theft hinges is mainly installed on the anti-theft doors or entrance doors. Its main feature is that there are 2 more anti-theft nails on the hinges, which can prevent the hinge core shaft from being damaged and the door from being dismantled after closing the door. Even if the hinge core shaft is damaged, the anti-theft nail can still block the door from being disassembled. 3. The flag-shaped hinge looks more like a flag when looking at the leaf and shaft alone, so it is called a flag-shaped hinge. Mainly used in steel doors or fire doors. The characteristic of this type of hinge is that after closing the door, it still has a thickness of 1 leaf, usually without slotting, and the 2 leaves of the hinge can be disassembled, which is convenient for installation, maintenance, replacement, and emergency response. 4. Spring hinge is a type of ordinary hinge with built-in spring, which can automatically close the door under the force of the spring, but there is no buffer. 5. Self-elevating hinges means that after the door is opened, the leaf will rise. After letting go, it will use the gravity of the door to descend along the trajectory to realize the automatic closing of the door. 6. Composite hinges is named the composite hinge, also known as mother-child hinge, because one leaf is large and the other is small, and the child leaves are embedded in the mother leaf. It is mainly used for interior doors that are relatively light in weight. The price is also relatively favorable. 7. European standard hinges is a type of ordinary hinges that have passed the European Standard CER certification, making them European standard hinges with stronger performance than national standards, commonly used for public and commercial buildings. 8. American standard hinges are a type of ordinary hinges that have passed the American Standard ANSI certification. They are American standard hinges with the highest performance requirements in the world, with a secondary lifespan of 1.5 million times and a first-level lifespan of 2.5 million times, commonly used for public and commercial buildings. Next, let's take a look at the concealed hinges. There are 4 main types. 1. Ordinary concealed hinges are mainly installed behind doors, and the hinges are hidden. You can choose styles based on different materials and load-bearing capacity. 2. Adjustable concealed hinges can be used for debugging in various dimensions such as front and back, left and right, up and down, used to compensate for installation errors or opening errors. 3. Fireproof concealed hinge, which have passed the Chinese fire safety inspection, have the same appearance as ordinary concealed hinges, mostly made of stainless steel material. 4. Stone door concealed hinge. This is a non-standard hinge that requires product configuration and inquiry. Recently, many sales colleagues have used it on tube well doors and stone doors. It is best to provide a CAD drawing before selecting this hinge to determine whether it can be installed properly, carrying a weight of up to 200 kilograms. We have also developed other hinges for special scenario requirements. 1. Eccentric door shaft, which is mainly used in subway tunnel communication passage doors, composed of upper axis, middle axis, and lower axis. It is necessary to distinguish between left and right and pass 15H fire protection test. The load-bearing capacity can reach 300 kilograms. Some heavy-duty doors can also use this type of door shaft. It is a non-standard product and requires an inquiry. 2. Chicken sewer hinge. This hinge is mainly used for tube well doors and concealed doors. One on top and one on bottom of single door. 3. Bending hinge are used on many doors and windows, but the size of the bending varies. Except for the door factory development, the versatility of other bent hinges is not strong enough. Most of these hinges require customized production by mold opening, which requires minimum order quantity requirement. The mold cost needs to be allocated proportionally. After the specific project requirements are met, we will further communicate with you to determine the plan. 4. Multifunctional hinge. A hinge with automatic door closing and holding functions. There are 2 speeds. Let's continue to learn about the second part, the application of hinges. 1. Ordinary hinges. The most common and commonly used type of hinge consist of 2 leaves, one installed on the door frame and the other on the door leaf. It play the role of connecting, supporting, and rotating the door. Main use, wooden or steel doors and windows. Commonly used for interior doors, offices, fire doors, hotel rooms, entrance doors, and other door types. Additionally, it is important to note that, when choosing hinges, you need to understand the weight, thickness, height, and material of the door. Choose the appropriate hinge based on the characteristics of the door. 2. Anti-theft hinge. The 2 leaves of the hinge have anti-theft pins and pinholes, respectively. When the door is closed, the anti-theft pin is inserted into the pinhole to prevent the door leaf from being disassembled due to the hinge axis being pulled out, thereby playing an anti-theft role. Suitable for door leaves with anti-theft requirements, such as residential entrance doors, anti-theft doors, etc. 3. Lifting hinge. The hinge makes the door leaf rise a certain distance when it is opened or closed. When it is opened or closed, the door leaf automatically descends under the weight of the door leaf, thereby achieving the function of automatic opening or closing of the door leaf. The lifting hinge is generally used in bathroom partition doors. 4. The composite hinge has 2 leaves, one large and one small. The child leaf looks like a hollowed out part of the mother leaf, and when closed, it forms a complete leaf. The installation of the composite hinge does not require slotting, making it easy to install, and the door gap is small. Generally used for lighter doors such as plastic steel doors, bathroom doors, and interior doors. 5. The leaf of the flag-shaped hinge resembles a flag. The installation of flag-shaped hinges does not require slotting, and the 2 leaves are removable and separable, making installation convenient and the gap between the door small. Generally used for plastic steel doors, bathroom doors, entrance doors, fire doors, etc. 6. Spring hinge. Hinges that can achieve automatic door closing are divided into 2 types, bidirectional and unidirectional spring hinges, generally used for lighter doors. Bidirectional spring hinges are generally used for lighter waist doors in bars and kitchens. A unidirectional spring hinge can be used with a tube well door. 7. Hidden hinge. A hinge in which no exposed part of the hinge can be seen after closing. The door is a high-end and beautiful hinge, also called a cross hinge. Generally used in star hotel guest room doors, interior doors of finely decorated rooms, etc. 8. 3D adjustable concealed hinge. A hinge that can adjust the relative position of door leaf and the door frame after installation, effectively avoiding the problem of unsmooth opening and closing of the door leaf caused by measurement errors. There are 2 types, exposed and concealed, generally used for interior doors in finely decorated rooms. 9. Multifunctional hinge. A hinge with automatic door closing and holding functions, also known as hydraulic hinge. Generally used for interior doors in finely decorated rooms. 10. Eccentric door shaft. There are 2 types of central door shafts and eccentric door shafts, which are generally used with floor springs and are important accessories for floor springs. It can also be used alone as a hinge and is generally suitable for doors weighing 10300 kg. For doors with eccentric shafts, if the door leaf is higher, an intermediate shaft. 11. Stone door concealed hinge. A hinge used to conveniently connect stone doors with hinges and fixed to stone frames. The minimum size of square steel is 40 mm applied to stone concealed doors, fire hydrants, and concealed doors. Select products according to different load-bearing capacities. 12. Bending hinge. Also known as curved hinge or corner hinge, it can maximize the width of the door opening when the opening angle, 90 degrees minus 95 degrees, is restricted. Generally used in places where the opening angle is limited, the door opening size is small, and there is a requirement for the width of the door opening passage. That's all for today's sharing. Finally, please believe in our KINLONG lock products. Our products will definitely bring better value to customers. The quality of the product is also reliable, locked in place, safe and reassuring, safe and reliable. Thank you all for your attention to locks.